Hello students, welcome back to the online classes. So, in today's class, we are going to continue the dual nature of radiation and matter chapter. You can see there on the board, it's chapter number 11, dual nature of radiation and matter, and we have come to the end of this particular chapter. So, initially by starting the types of electron emissions and particularly focusing on the photoelectric emission and the experimental observations, Halva-Chilnar's experiment and their observations and their technical terms. So what and all things are being involved there to study in depth. And later on, of course, Einstein's, by considering the Max Planck's quantum theory, he has applied his theory and along with that he has availed or he secured or he won the Nobel Prize. Okay. So apart from that, Einstein's experimental observation on photoelectric effect we have discussed later on. How the photoelectric emission is related to different aspects like threshold frequency, stopping potential, the graphs, intensity of light, many more. So different graphs we have discussed, and the clear note of that I hope you have taken down and you have understood it very clearly. That is what we require. Okay. And next, apart from that, the last topic of this particular chapter, that is de Broglie wavelength. That means matter wave, in the sense wave or electromagnetic wave, for example, a wave. A particle can either behave as a particle as well as a wave, dual nature, okay, of particle. So in that one, meanwhile studying that, we have come across de Broglie wavelength and expression for it, and different ways of representing de Broglie wavelength also we have discussed. So today the last topic is still the same thing, the de Broglie wavelength, one of the one small derivation kind, not a derivation kind, it's something like numerical kind of derivation, small one. Apart from that, one of the principle you have learned in chemistry, that is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Just a definition we will learn, and by that the chapter is closed, and then we will be going to discuss with the numericals. Okay, so let us go for it. So today we will be continuing the de Broglie wavelength concept. So let us take down directly like a question. Okay, prove that de Broglie wavelength lambda is equal to, okay, of course you know h by p, but it's something slightly different. It is 1.227 divided by square root of v nanometer. What is that square root of v here? You know, that is the electric potential. Electric potential, why it has come here? See, as I told you people, okay, a electromagnetic wave or a particle or a light wave, whatever, okay, radiation for example. Matter wave we usually see. Light behaves as either a particle as well as a wave, we know. Like that, here V means we are taking a particle in the sense electron. So now to make the electron to behave like a wave, we have to accelerate it. So when electrons, because you know when light travels means it is something like packets of energy, quanta in it, correct? Planck's constant, all those we have discussed. So what is photon we have discussed, what is the characteristics of photon also we have discussed. So all those we know, correct? The characteristic properties we have written. And so photon has to travel with the high momentum, of course you know 300⁸ meter per second. So this constitute a wave, light wave. Similarly, right now suppose you have an electron with you, simply you are holding it means it doesn't behave as a wave. So you have to make it move, you have to make it to gain momentum. So that is why how to make an electron move means, of course you know we have to accelerate it. How to accelerate? Of course by applying some positive potential, heavy positive potential, something like that. Of course what happens, electron will get accelerated. So when electron moves, of course it has to behave, and it's experimentally proved also. That is, that particular experiment is not there. Later on I will tell you. Okay, it's what is that, it's neglected, in the sense it is left because of this COVID, the portion is not included. So let us go for it. So prove that lambda equal to 1.227 by square root of v for an electron accelerated through Okay, for an electron accelerated through a potential difference of V. This is the question. Okay. So as I required to just make it inside the camera, this one, that's why like this I have written. So electron, of course, when you come across electron, you know the electron charge will be 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, whereas the mass of the electron will be 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg, right? So directly we cannot come across this because we have to prove the equation has to be like this. So let us go for the de Broglie wavelength basic equation. What is that? We know lambda equal to h by p. Now it is not photon, so let us write h by mv. So that is, here v means velocity or the speed of the that means a particle. But by keeping this basic equation, it is not possible to get this particular answer. But one thing we know, that is there is something. What is that? Of course, relation between kinetic energy, all those. So what is that? So h by square root of 2mk, correct? One of the equation in the previous class, in the previous video we have discussed. Also this is given as h by, in the place of k, if the charge is accelerated, kinetic energy is also 2m q into capital V. What is V? Potential. Let us apply that one here. So the values, so lambda equal to, h means what? H means, of course, 6.625 or 6.63 into 10 power minus 34 joule second, correct? Planck's constant divided by inside the square root. What is that? 2 into mass of the electron 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. Next, charge of electron 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb into, what is the electric potential? In the question it is given just V. Now if you try substituting this, lambda should be equal to 1.227 divided by square root of V Newton meter, or lambda is equal to 12.27 divided by square root of V angstrom. See, simple, right? Hope you can understand this. Take down. Okay. So question is one of the important question, usually for 2 marks can be asked. So question is, prove lambda equal to 1.227 divided by square root of V when electron is accelerated by a potential difference of capital V. If it is given like this, of course the proof is like this. So what we have done initially, we have just written the basic equation for de Broglie wavelength, and it is not sufficient, much more not sufficient, much more not sufficient. Now fine, substituted, and we finally got the answer successfully. So that is all about prove what? Prove that, what is that? De Broglie wavelength for an electron when it is accelerated, it will give you this kind of final result. That is it. So now let us go for what, the last one small topic, that is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Just a definition and one small equation, that is it. By that the chapter is over. Then we'll go for what? Numericals. Okay. So of course you know the method how the numericals will be solved in online class. I will be sending you people the PDF. You have to note down the questions. Try to solve on your own. Difficult means, of course, leave space. Later on, after watching the video, you can fill up the answer over there. That is a method. Yes. So that is all about what? All about de Broglie wavelength equation for an accelerated what? Accelerated electron. So an accelerated electron behaves as what now? Wave. That is why lambda will give you the value near angstrom or nanometer, like like that. So that means it has to be a what? Wave. That is a significance of this. Okay. To prove this de Broglie wavelength for an accelerated electron, there is one experiment. It is there in the NCERT syllabus, that is Davison and Germer experiment. But right now it is what? Discard, in the sense it is neglected or left because it is not included in the portion. So for your competitive examination point of view or for your board examination point of view, of course, nothing to worry about it. Okay, but for your general knowledge, just remember. Okay, so here if you are writing KVPU examination, means at least this knowledge are required. So de Broglie wavelength means it's a way of finding out the wavelength of a accelerated particle or anything, photon also fine. So if your electron is accelerated, it behaves as a wave. So he has given theoretically the value like this, but it is experimentally proved by scientists called Davison and Germer. Davison and Germer experiment is famous for understanding the dual nature of electron. So what is the significance of Davison and Germer experiment is, that is, electron behaves as a wave, or accelerated electron behaves as a wave. So that is it. Keep in mind. Okay. Yes. So in other words, wave nature of electron, if that is it. So last small topic, that is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Of course, in chemistry, many times you might have come across this definition. I think you remember and you know that at the tip of your tongue. Simple definition, it is impossible to calculate or find out the momentum and position of a particle at a time. That is the significance of what? Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Correct? So it states that it is impossible to measure. I'll write down here. It states that it's impossible to measure. Impossible to measure both position and momentum. Position and momentum of what? Of a particle. Exactly at the same time. Same time. Okay. So next, what he concluded is the minimum. Okay. The minimum uncertainty. The minimum uncertainty in the product of position delta x I have taken and momentum delta p is of the order h by 2 pi, or the equation is like this: delta x into delta p almost equal to h by 2 pi. Okay. So Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, h by 2 pi. The equation is like this. So one of the famous equation, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, is given by like this. The minimum uncertainty can be evaluated by this particular, this is almost equal to, okay. So that is it. So it's all about, I have written over here, that is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Uncertainty principle in the sense, it is not certain. So it is not possible to calculate both momentum as well as the position of a particle. Okay, any particle. Yes. So students, we have successfully completed the chapter Dual Nature of Radiation and Matter. As this is not the regular physical class, we have to depend on video classes since the lockdown time. And from my part, I have completed from ray optics. Almost 50% was done in the regular class itself, and remaining thing was completed in the video class. Then wave optics concept, dual nature of radiation. All these chapters are kind of theoretical. Okay, so nothing to worry. So, for example, whatever we required, in the sense the practical kind of exposure chapter was ray optics. Of course, thank God, for example, many of the concepts like mirrors, different types of mirror, plane mirrors, examples, all those were actually able to do in the class. Later on, all these chapters comes under only theory. So hopefully it's same as that of the physical class you will experience here also, I personally feel. So now let us finish off the numericals from this chapter. Around 10 numericals are there. 10, correct. So 10 numericals are there. So finishing that one, again one more chapter will be starting, that is atoms. That is also purely theory. Okay, just derivations, equations, something like that. Nothing to do with practical purpose over there. So this video classes, okay, maybe what I personally feel is it may give you the perfection, might not be 100% exactly. At least we will try our best 80+%. Okay, fine then. So the PDF of numericals is ready with you people. So let us begin then. Okay. So 10 numerical students. Hope you have tried. On your own. Okay. So that is all about dual nature of radiation and matter concept. Yes. So let me begin with numericals now. In that first one. So I read the question and will solve here on the board. And by the way, the question is like this. Calculate the wavelength and frequency of photon of energy 2 electron volt. So you are supposed to calculate the wavelength and frequency of a photon. So photon of energy. So photon is given, its energy they have mentioned as E is equal to 2 electron volt. Why 2 electron volt? Of course, when there are minute particles, suppose you want to express energy possessed by any of a body, macroscopic body, we will be using joules. But when you go for microscopic world, okay, there you might be knowing about it in chemistry, you might have come across this, you will be using electron volt scale. That means you will be converting joule to electron volt. So here a photon of energy in terms of electron volt is given. You are supposed to find out what is frequency. So let us continue. Question number 2. Okay. So question number 1 is over. Let us go for question number 2. And the question is, let me go to the question. Question is like this. For a metal, the maximum wavelength required for photoelectron emission is, for a metal, maximum wavelength required for photo emission is, that means maximum wavelength is required. That means what is that? You might be knowing what is threshold wavelength, the maximum wavelength for photo emission required, above which no emission takes place. So what they have given here is, that is what you have to find out first, that is lambda naught. They have given threshold wavelength. Maximum wavelength required for photoelectron emission is 210 nanometer. That is a given data, right? Find the work function. So work function, of course, in some book maybe W they have given. I am taking phi naught. To how much? Find the work function. If the radiation of wavelength is 150 nanometer falls on the surface of the given metal, find the maximum kinetic energy of the emitted photoelectron. See, if a radiation of wavelength, just lambda, this is characteristic of the metal surface. For a metal maximum wavelength, that means threshold wavelength is 210. But how much falls? 150 nanometer falls on the metal surface. And they are asking to find out the maximum kinetic energy of the emitted photoelectron. That means, of course, once a photoelectron emits out, they will get momentum. So they will possess kinetic energy. So we are supposed to find out what is the maximum kinetic energy. That is it. So of course, according to Einstein's photoelectric effect concept, it is given by energy E is equal to, a part of energy is utilized to come out and remaining part will be utilized to gain kinetic energy. What we require? We require kinetic energy. So K max means what? E minus phi naught. So K max, E means what? H nu. What is phi naught? H nu naught. But right now, as per the given data here, okay, we don't have what? We don't have the new value. So I can find out by converting. So what I do here, lambda value they have given, right? Lambda and lambda naught they have given. So I will just rearrange this nu and nu naught by lambda concept. So that will be K max is equal to what? K max equal to Hc by lambda minus Hc by lambda naught. So common factors, you need not prolong like this, these many steps. So you can take common fact directly. Some of the steps you can just neglect. 1 by nu naught, like this. Next, K max is equal to Hc, that is 6.625 or 6.63 into 10 power minus 34 into 3 into 10 power 8. Thereafter 1 divided by, what is the wavelength which is incident? 150 nanometer. So 150 into 10 power minus 9 minus 1 divided by, what is the threshold wavelength? Maximum wavelength above which no emission takes place, 210. So finally K max you should calculate. Check the calculation. You are supposed to get the answer 3.786. Okay, 3.786 into 10 power minus 19 joules. So kinetic energy you got in terms of joules now. Imagine in the same question, if it is asked, express the maximum kinetic energy in terms of electron volt means. So you are supposed to convert joule to electron volt now. So K max in terms of electron volt, that is nothing but 3.786 786 into 10 power minus 19 divided by charge of electron, so 10 power minus 19. So minus 19 cancels. So you will be dividing 3.786 by 1.6. The answer will be 2.366. 2.366 electron volt. Calculation you need to check. Yes, this is it. Okay. So we are able to find out what is the Kmax value. But in the question at the beginning itself, it is asked to find out what is phi naught. That means what is the work function. So work function formula is very simple here. I'll do it here. So phi naught equal to hc by lambda naught. So phi naught is nothing but equivalent to 6.625 into 10 power minus 34. Here directly I have substituted to find out. In order to find out the kinetic energy, C 3 into 10 power 8 divided by lambda naught, that is 210 into 10 power minus 9. This is, you should find out, okay, what is phi naught. You can check or you can calculate. Hope you understood all this. This numericals looks slightly lengthy and very important for your board examination point of view also, as well as for your competitive examination point of view. You can check the previous year asked questions. Many questions are there regarding this dual nature of radiation and matter. Minimum one question will be there from this particular chapter. Why? Because this concept is modern physics. Okay. So importance is there for these modern physics concepts. Okay, fine. So that is all about question number 2. Let me erase this. Question number 2 is over. Next, question number 3. Okay, let us go to the question. Question number 3. All slightly looks lengthy, but because the formulas are so, okay, that is why we have to relate the formula, we have to modulate the formula in some different steps. That is why the substitution looks slightly lengthier here. It is not like it involves many steps. No. Question is like this. Work function of sodium is 2.35 electron volt. See, for sodium, work function phi naught equal to 2.35 electron volt. What is work function? Minimum energy required to remove the, okay, or emit the electron from the metal surface. What is the maximum wavelength of light that will cause photoelectrons to be emitted from the metal? That means, what is the maximum wavelength? That means, what is the meaning of this? Of course, maximum wavelength is nothing but lambda naught. That means threshold wavelength from the metal surface. Okay. What will be the maximum energy of photoelectron if radiation of 10,000 angstrom falls on the metal surface? What is the maximum energy? Maximum energy means what? Of course, the concept of maximum energy is nothing but kinetic energy, correct? What is the maximum kinetic energy when a wavelength of 1000 angstrom or 1100 nanometer falls on it? Okay. So now this is what given here. So work function value is given. By that you can easily calculate lambda naught. Am I right? So what is work function? Phi naught is equal to h nu naught, or phi naught is equal to hc by lambda naught, or lambda naught equal to hc by phi naught. So what is h? 6.63 into 10 power minus 34 into c 3 into 10 power 8 divided by phi naught, that is 2.35. But lambda naught means It's in SI unit. 2.35 in electron volt. What I have to do? We have to substitute. What? We have to convert that into what? Into the, yes. So what you do? Just multiply by how much? 1.6. Convert into SI unit. That means multiply by minus 19. Now the electron volt will become what? Become joule. That is it. So finally check the answer. Answer will be 5286. 5286 is the answer, students. Okay, check the answer. Hope you are able to see the answer. Yes, answer is now clearly visible for you. Okay, fine then. So finally we are able to find out what is the threshold wavelength, and what they are asking here is they are asking what is the maximum energy of the photoelectrons if the radiation of 1000, that means 100 nanometer falls on the metal surface. See, here they have given, okay, that means how much will be the maximum energy. So if you just calculate maximum energy just by taking the given data here, what happens, you know, for the given data how much is the maximum energy you will get, but they have given the normally what is that lambda naught value also we have. That means basically for maximum this one how much is the value, that also you know, correct? So for that what we do right now is we will be calculating energy for what? Energy for the incident radiation of what? 1000. Let us calculate. For 1000 angstrom, how much is the energy? Energy for that much is E is equal to hc by lambda, correct? What is h? 6.625 into 10 power minus 34 into c 3 into 10 power 8 divided by lambda, that means 100 into 10 power minus 9 or 10 power what? Yeah, minus 7. So as the threshold energy, that means is given in terms of electron volt, the energy of incident radiation also I will calculate in terms of electron volt. Okay, that is why small change, divide by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Your answer will be, check the answer, 12.42 electron volt. 12.42 electron volt. Hope it is visible. Yes. So now what is clear here no, like metal surface is there, radiation of 100 nanometer falls on this. Okay, it emits electrons. What they have given, the maximum wavelength above which no emission takes place is, that is lambda naught is equal to 528.6 nanometer. Till here it is possible. Okay, now what we require, maximum kinetic energy of the what? Photoelectrons. Let us calculate that. We know equal to 5 plus K max, correct? So K max equal to what? E minus 5. So what is E? 12.42 minus what is 5? 2.35. Hope now you are able to understand this. We are able to find out what is the energy for incident 1000 angstrom radiation. Because of the differences, what is the maximum value? That is 10.07. 10.07 electron volt is the right answer, students. So have a look. Hope you are able to see. Yes, everything is very clear, I feel. So while analyzing the question, make sure what should be the first method. That means here lot of formulas are there. That Einstein's photoelectric equation can be modulated into 4 to 5 forms. Which is actually suitable, that has to be found out first. So that is why given data carefully, by analyzing the question you have to write. Then one by one you try to calculate. You need not follow the same method. You can just go for alternate method also. Okay. Yeah. That is all about question number, which one? Yes, question number 3. Yes, let us go for question number 4 then. Okay. Now, let us go for question number 4. Numericals, question number 4. And the question is, light of frequency. Frequency of light is given. It is not minimum frequency, something like that, it is not mentioned. So light of frequency, just frequency, nu equal to 7.21 into 10 power 14 hertz is incident on a metal surface. Electron with maximum speed of 6 into 10 power 5 meter per second are ejected. That means maximum speed of 6 into 6.0 is given, so I will just meter per second are ejected. What is the threshold frequency for photo emission of electron? Threshold frequency, that means what is the threshold frequency? Nu naught equal to how much for the metal surface? This is what you have to calculate. Okay, so nu naught is to be found out. Given data as you can see here. So in this given data, what I am going to write is, I will just write the basic equation. E is equal to phi naught plus kmax. Or this can also be written as h nu equal to h nu naught plus half mv square. Now this is kind of related, correct? V value we have, V max will write. So half mv max square is equal to h nu minus h nu naught, or v square equal to, okay, sorry, why we require v square, correct? We require lambda naught. So this also can be written as, I'll just write mv square, okay, h into nu minus nu naught, correct? Next, nu minus nu naught equal to mv square by 2h. We require what is nu naught. So nu naught equal to nu minus mv square by 2h. Hope it is clear now how I modulated the equation. Okay.